The film begins with a report on a radio broadcast that mentions the disappearance of a woman named Carla Manriquez with her lover. They are known to be camping in the Valle Nevado, Pinto, and they were last seen on Mount Snow Devil, which was believed to be a mysterious mountain that is home to the activity of strange creatures such as aliens. Several women claimed to see the light before they were abducted by strange creatures who talked about their plans to create a half-human and half-alien race. In February 2020, an injured man was seen at gunpoint by another man, but the man was shot to death. 3 days earlier, a couple named Evelyn and Kevin were seen climbing Mount Snow Devil. Arriving at the top, they pitched their tents and spent time together in front of the bonfire. At that time, Kevin proposed to Evelyn to marry him. Meanwhile, in a small town, a man was seen in a car watching pictures of aliens on his cell phone. While sleeping in the tent, Evelyn heard a strange voice. She then came out of the tent and looked for the source of the sound. While she was looking for something, he suddenly saw a light and seemed to be hypnotized. Evelyn seemed to be raped by a strange creature and had white discharge all over her body. Kevin then woke up and saw Evelyn not in the tent. Kevin continued to look for Evelyn until the next day he found Evelyn naked and covered in a disgusting white fluid all over her body. Evelyn was then taken and examined by a doctor. Something like an embryo was in Evelyn's stomach. While being examined, Evelyn suddenly felt strange and smelled the doctor's smell. When Kevin comes in to bring coffee, he was surprised to see Evelyn drinking the blood of the dead doctor and eating him. Seeing this, Kevin immediately asked Evelyn to leave that place. Then the scene switches and shows the case 12 years earlier of a woman named Paulina Georguera in June 2008. Paulina went to the mountains with her boyfriend Yuri to shoot a video. Arriving at the top of the mountain, they performed a dance recorded by the camera. A flickering light was seen as they were recorded. Then they entered a cabin where Paulina was dressed. After that, Yuri was seen digging something in the ground and heating a knife. Paulina, who was naked, then walked into the forest carrying a torch while being recorded by her partner. Yuri suddenly attacked Paulina with a knife, scaring her comrades. Those who recorded the video were also killed by Yuri. The bloodied Paulina was then carried into the cabin by Yuri, and suddenly a very loud, strange voice was heard. Something happened and the recording stopped. Back to the Evelyn incident in 2020. Kevin took Evelyn away. In the car, Kevin kept telling Evelyn to get up while Evelyn looked half-conscious and remembered what had happened to her. Because Kevin's car ran out of gas, their car finally stopped at a gas station. When Kevin was about to refuel, Evelyn got out of the car. For some reason she felt hungry, and strangely she just wanted to drink blood and eat human flesh. Saw a group of men talking and passing by to tease them. The men who were talking about lewd things were attracted to see the beautiful Evelyn, and she went into a toilet. Then there was blood running down the sink and Evelyn looking out the window. A man who was attracted to Evelyn went into the toilet and tried to seduce Evelyn. But a voice appeared telling Evelyn to feed him. Evelyn immediately bit the man. Kevin looked confused and searched for Evelyn around the gas station. He tried to ask the men standing in front of the toilet if they had seen Evelyn, but they said they had not. Then a scream was heard, and Kevin immediately went to the toilet, where a scream was heard, even though he was prevented by the man's friends earlier. When entering the toilet, Kevin found Evelyn drinking the man's blood, and the man was already torn apart. His friend tried to catch Evelyn, but got attacked by Evelyn instead. Seeing this, Kevin immediately took Evelyn away from that place. A report came into the police line of a murder at a hospital in Los Luques. Kevin, realizing that the police might be after them, left his car and took a right in the middle of the road. A car driven by a woman agreed to give Kevin and Evelyn a ride to the next town. In a police station, a detective was investigating several cases related to extraterrestrials. He found a case that happened several years ago involving the Lagos family. In a video, Carla's lover recorded their activity, and suddenly the recording turned to Carla, who looked scared, as if she was being chased by something. Since then, Carla has been missing, and her boyfriend has been looking for her all night until he asked the authorities for help. The sector rescue team began to search for Carla. They also set up headquarters in an area called Shangri-La. Mount Snow Devil is often visited by tourists who want to see the beauty of the mountain and go skiing. The weather on the mountain fluctuated, and it was cold when the team tried to find Carla. A rescue team from the Les Troncas Valley named Juan Pablo Venegas filmed himself during the search process. They found a trail that led to an area that tourists were forbidden to visit. The area was at an altitude, so helicopters also came to help with the rescue process. Few moments later, the team found Carla alive. Carla was then examined by a doctor and there were several wounds that resembled symbols on her body. In January 2012, Carla looked confused. The team explains that Carla just lost and she just experienced lack of food and dehydration for several days, so she needs to rest in order to recover. In April 2012, a couple was seen checking their womb and saw a fetus in their stomach. Then in October 2012, it was seen that Carla was pregnant, and 2 years later, in 2014, Carla already had a daughter named Rafaela and they were from the Lagos family. Rafaela grew into a little girl from year to year. She lived life as a child who loved to play. One day, Rafaela was seen drawing, and in her book it is seen that she drew various forms of alien-like monsters which were quite scary. Several years passed, and Rafaela still loved to draw, and she was only interested in drawing alien figures in her books. One night when Rafaela was asleep, there was a strange sound and Carla suddenly took Rafaela from her bed. She then took Rafaela to hide. A creature came to their house and Carla ran to avoid it. She screamed for help, but no one else was home. Carla returns to the place where Rafaela was hidden, and she screams for the creature to leave them and not disturb her. It turns out that the creature was an alien who used to impregnate Carla and he came to take Rafaela, who was his child. Finally, the alien took Rafaela, even though Carla screams not to take her child because the time has not yet come. Back in the present in February 2020, Kevin and Evelyn were still riding in a woman's car. On the way, Evelyn again felt hungry and something in her stomach asked to be fed again. Evelyn was also interested in the woman who is now driving. The woman driving thought Evelyn was teasing her. Evelyn took the woman into the forest. Kevin, who had been asleep before, woke up and didn't find Evelyn anywhere. He was looking for Evelyn, who turned out to be biting the woman, ate her stomach, and drank her blood as she had done to the previous victim. Kevin was frustrated with what Evelyn was doing, while Evelyn told Kevin to leave her. Finally, because he couldn't stand Evelyn, Kevin called the police and reported his girlfriends about the murder. Soon the police came and asked Kevin where Evelyn was. The police beat Kevin because he did not immediately answer where Evelyn was. The police immediately looked for Evelyn in the forest and they found her. Kevin, who remembered his memories with Evelyn, felt sorry and told Evelyn to run. But Evelyn instead attacked and then fled somewhere. A police officer named Antonio Georguera again asked where Evelyn was to Kevin, who was already badly injured because they couldn't see her. Kevin said if Evelyn was here. Evelyn then appears and Kevin pleads to the police not to shoot the pregnant Evelyn. Since the incident, both the couple and the police officer named Georguera have been declared missing. Antonio Georguera turned out to be the brother of Paulina Georguera, who was killed by her boyfriend Yuri along with the director and one other friend while filming a video on Snow Devil Mountain. Officer Georguera was known to investigate the disappearance of Paulina as well as the Lagos family, who were said to have been kidnapped by the aliens. Georguera himself claimed to have been abducted by aliens, and when the police searched his house, various alien sketches drawn by Georguera himself were found. This assumption about aliens was rejected because the police suspected that Georguera was just depressed because of the loss of his sister, Paulina. So the movie ends. Pretty interesting movie, right? Aliens might really exist, but don't forget to always click the like, subscribe and bell buttons, and also share with your family and friends. See you again in the next video.